Hi there, my name's Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. How you doing? Just checking everything's working here. I usually get an email saying that I'm gone live, but I don't anymore. I guess YouTube got rid of that, which is a shame. I used to like that. Let's see if I got it. No. Always changing things, aren't they? You used to be able to sign up for an email from YouTube when a video or someone that went live or a video went up, and they got rid of that completely. If you'd already signed up, then they would still allow it to go through, but I guess they've now killed it completely, which is a shame, I think. But, you know, things must change for some reason. I don't know why they would get rid of that. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. And I've got a couple of things to tell you about today. Some things on sale that I use that you might want to check out. In fact, you should check them out because they're very good. I'll just wait a few minutes and say hi first of all. And let me know what you've been up to. Let me know how things are going. And any updates, any news, anything that you've discovered this week, any gigs you've played you want to talk about, let me know in the chat. Nice casual chat today for about an hour. And I'll just come and say hi. That's why I'll bring up my microphone a little bit more. Testing 1 2. Yep, 1 2. That looks good. Looks healthier than it was. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yep. I'm going to save that as well because I like that level. Hopefully it won't crash. There we go. All right, good. Okay. Yeah, any questions? Put your question in. And let's get started. So Greg was here first. Hello from the snow belt. Don't know what you mean, Greg. Where are you? Where are you located? Let us know. Bedoin's here. Happy Monday from New Orleans. Good to see you, buddy. Icaro Costa. Hello, guys. Good to see you. I said welcome. Please let me know where you're watching from. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Ring the bell to be notified when I go live. And don't forget to hydrate. David Belcher, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Kevin's in Indiana. Caro's in Brazil. Nice. Jack Stowe, how you doing? Good to see you. And we got a question from Icaro. All right, before I get to your question. Rex says, use the Voice Live 3 for a few songs the first time. This is a great segue here from Rex. So a couple of things to tell you all about. First of all, massive sale. I'll just jump over the desktop for this. This is what I'm going to show you next. But first of all, if you're in America at least, massive sale on TC Helicon products. And these are things that I love, as you know. So I want to tell you about them right now. Let me just bring it up here. Not Helican, it's Helicon. Okay. So Voice Live 3 Extreme on sale. Actually, lots of things on sale. I want to show you this because a lot of people are interested in what I use at my gigs, and this is stuff that I used. A lot of stuff I use is currently on sale. So first of all, the main thing I'm using, Voice Live 3 Extreme. It went on sale. It was around $750. It went down to $639, and then it went down to $499. Amazing price. If you're interested in these, I don't think you'll ever get a better price for a brand new unit with warranty. If you're in America, you should definitely check these out. The Voice Live 3 Extreme from TC Helicon. Okay, so this is the time to get one. This is the cheapest you'll get it. I did put my link, just quickly, I did put my link in this chat, pinned it. If you're going to get one, please click that link before you buy it. That will help me out with like 20 bucks as well. I appreciate it. But this is the time to get one. There's not a new one coming. They simply have too many. And like a lot of people right now, they're clearing out stock. Okay, so that's the deal with these. And you are not going to get a better price than that. It's a great unit. In my opinion, I've got some friends that don't like it, but they're wrong. No, I'm kidding. Also, Play Acoustic, big news. It's back in stock. This was also out of stock due to a chip shortage. And it's now back. And it's already discounted. So if you're on the fence for $249, this is a great deal. It's smaller, lighter, less features than the Voice Live 3 Extreme. I prefer Voice Live 3 Extreme. But this is a great backup and a great second unit, or a great main unit if you want something really simple. I mean, the looper in here alone, it's only a 1 minute looper, but even that for 250 is amazing. And I could do a gig with this by itself if I had to. So if you're on the fence and don't want to spend 500, I recommend these. Every singer guitarist should own one of these at 249. And anyone that wants to get more into looping with 2 tracks and more features should check out the Voice i3 Extreme at 500 right now. Great prices. You will not, I bet you will not see these prices again, probably ever again. If anything, the prices are going to go up next year, I'm sure. I just can't see these. These are used. These are better than used a few months ago. They're great. And all the stuff is on sale. They're trying to clear a lot of it out. So the Play Acoustic, the blue one, Voice Live Play, sorry, if you sing and don't play guitar, but $199, great deal. So if you like to sing in the band and you don't care about the guitar stuff or the guitar harmonies, then grab this one. I never used this one, so I can't comment that much on it, but it's basically just going to give you vocal effects. So if you sing in a band and you want reverbs, delays, and things like that, then check this out for $199. Of course, we're focused on guitar here, so we're going to talk more about the black ones, the Play Acoustic and the Voice i3 Extreme. If it was me, I would get both of those for that price. But I already have multiple of each because they're so valuable to me. I would check out these amps, but they're not on sale. And power supplies are on sale. It's good to have spare power supplies for these things. So they're on sale. The Switch 3 and Switch 6 is on sale. This Switch 6 adds 6 passive buttons to your Play Acoustic or your Voice i3 Extreme. These are normally $99 and they're on sale for $49. This is crazy. $50 basically. So a Switch 6 and a Play Acoustic for $300, you've got an incredibly powerful vocal and guitar processor. So definitely check those out. That's the first thing I want to let you know about. That is a really great deal. And if you're on the fence at all, now is the time. And especially if you're in America, you can, of course, return them if you don't like them, because it is from Sweetwater. It's not a final sale. You're going to get the 30 days to try them out. All right, so I'll come back for the next thing in a second, but that's the first thing I want to talk about today. That's a really great deal. Unbelievable deal. Graham's here. How you doing, Graham? Okay, so first question from Ikaro. Hope you are good. I need an IR loader, EQ, tuner, and reverb for the acoustic. What's better, Tone X1, Boss GE7, Polytune, and Strymon Blues, or HX Stomp, or GX10? Thanks. All right, easy question for me to answer this one. Tone X1, without a doubt, for portability and price. Can't beat it. Let me find it here. I spelt it wrong, but that's fine. So, $179.99, great acoustic pedal. I'm still haven't made my video on it. I will be making a video about this. I'm sure it's going to do really well because it's so affordable, it's so compact, and it sounds so good. Of course, there's no screen, and the functions, although there are a lot of functions, they're not as varied as in something bigger. But if you want portability or value, then the Tone X1 is the way to go. Also as a backup pedal, fantastic pedal for electric and acoustic. If you want something more substantial, HX Stomp, definitely. Easy to use, very versatile, very compact. Currently also $100 off. This is the price it used to be though, around 600. So, you know, it's still not cheap, but it does a lot. And you can add a 2-button foot switch to that to give yourself 5 switches. Loads of the IRs you're talking about, also has loads of effects. You can't load all the effects at once. It's not that powerful. It's half the power of a Helix, which is already a little bit underpowered in my opinion, but certainly powerful enough to load an IR, a reverb, a delay, a boost, an EQ, and you've got tap tempo built into it. You've got the LEDs to show you what's going on, and you've got a really good tuner in there as well. So you really can't go wrong. This is a Swiss Army knife. You can't go wrong with the HX Stomp. The only thing is the feet on the bottom fall off. If you use the rubber feet, they're not very good. Don't even bother. Get some other ones from Amazon. But this is a great Swiss Army knife. Not my favorite electric amp sounds. You know, probably better than the Voice Live 3 Extreme. Not as good as Quad Cortex for me, but I've heard people get amazing results from it, so it's probably just me. But the effects are amazing. For acoustic, this would be ideal with the 2-button passive foot switch. So I would say this or Tone X1, or possibly both if you want Tone X1 as a backup and a fly rig option, which is even more portable than the HX Stomp. So yeah, cool. Hope that helps. That was easy for me to answer that. Tone X versus Boss IR2 for acoustic. What do you think? Tone X, definitely. More flexible, more portable. I think it's cheaper too. Tone X is excellent. Tone X is the hidden gem of acoustic guitar pedals, and I'm going to make a video about that, and it's going to do well because those kind of videos always do well, especially for an affordable pedal like that. I just got, you know, I did one video this week. I finally did the AEG video. Hope you saw it. I posted that this morning. Hope you saw that one. Please watch it if you haven't. Leave me a comment, a like, and also on this stream if you like the stream. The great guitars. I finally got my video down. I really want to take my time. I made a lot of different videos already on it. I really wanted to get my thoughts together, and I think I covered it pretty well. I was pretty critical, gave a lot of things that I would change, but also it just continues to impress me. Like even when I was recording the intro to that video yesterday, just the sound of that guitar directly into the Quad Cortex with just a bit of EQ and reverb just really impressed me a lot. Very cool stuff. So yeah, Rex used the Voice Live 3 for a few songs at a gig for the first time. Let us know how that went. Jack Stowe says, getting ready for a little show on Thursday, use and play acoustic. There we go. And now it says unplug aux with nothing plugged in. It's not an issue. Mine used to do that. I can't remember what it is. There's a setting. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's something else. I had one, and there was a when you first turned it on, there was a message that was really confusing like that. And I thought that the jack input was faulty, so I sprayed it with switch cleaner, and it went in and ruined the pedal, and I had to have it repaired. And it turned out it was just an option in settings. So I can't remember exactly what it is, but check that out before you do anything. So Danielle, Emberly purchased a hydrometer that has low and high alarms. It does not take long for humidity in my room to drop. Yeah, same here. It's raining here, so it's very humid today, which is great for the guitars. As I said, I think last week, the best thing I've found is the Apple HomePod Mini. But obviously only if you use Apple products. If you've got an iPhone, then it's worth checking out the HomePod Mini. They are $99. I'll just show you what I'm talking about on the desktop. $99. I mean, some hydrometers. Is that right? Hydrometer? Some hydrometers are $99 anyway. So these, a lot of people don't know this. These actually have hydrometers built in that are pretty accurate. And the way my phone is set up, I was showing this last week. When I lock my phone on the main screen, it says climate 75, humidity 55. That's the measurements of this room, and wherever I am in the world, it will show me that because it uses the cellular connection to tell me. So, well, the HomePod uses the Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi sends it to the server, and then the phone picks it up over cellular or Wi-Fi. So if I was in Australia, I could still see what the humidity is in this room, and that's super useful. And I don't think a lot of people know about that. And then you can also use it as a speaker as well, of course, which is cool. I don't even do that. I actually have mine here just as a hydrometer. I think for $100, it's totally worth it. Just to know the guitars are safe, you know. Makes me think I should get another Voice Live 3 Extreme as a backup. You should, because you'll never get a price like that. It's brand new. Do open it up and test it out when you get it. Do register it with Music Tribe because you get those 3 years of warranty. I think I have included my main unit, and then I have 4 others. And that sounds incredibly extreme, pardon the pun. But honestly, that's how much I rely on that pedal. I couldn't survive without it. And a year ago, they were not available anywhere. So I do have enough to last me the rest of my career. And yes, I'm still looking for something better that comes. I hope something better will come out. And then these pedals will be pretty worthless, I'm sure. But from what we've seen in the past, they just don't. We don't get this stuff. And we have also seen in the past that these pedals go out of production. So I stand by my madness. I have, I think, 2 Play Acoustics and 5 Voice Live 3 Extremes. And I just, you know, I also like to replace them. So I had a unit I used for 3 years and I sold it and got one of the new ones. I didn't need to, it was absolutely fine, but I just used them so much that I just wanted to replace it while it was fine. So I'm currently using one now, which is about 3 months old. It should last me a good 3 years. Again, probably last me 10 years if I look after it. And I do look after them, but I just like to change them every 3 to 5 years if they're on the market anyway, just for peace of mind, really. And because I can, you know, I lose a couple $100 when I sell the old one and get the new one. And I get the new warranty as well. So to me, it's totally worth it. So I've been doing that. It's, yeah, it's important to me that I have the small amount of gear I do take to gigs. It's important to me that it's all working 100%. I just don't want that room for error. Although we can get error, of course, you know. Virginia and Nathan said AEG video was great, very thorough. Thank you. Yeah, I did. I took a long time, you know. I was thinking lately, I don't want to just rush. I don't want to get a product and just make a video. Sometimes you have to, and then you have to do an update video 6 months later or a year later. Sometimes you have to do that because you've got to get the video out for whatever reason. But I had time with the Hi-Fi Duet and the AEG guitars. They let me hang on to them for a few months. And I just really wanted to try them. I really wanted to see if the pickups were going to be durable and how they're going to work in different rooms and how I experiment with EQ. And I also got feedback from others as well, which I found really interesting. But I think they did great. I mean, like, remember, this is their first product. This is their first acoustic guitar, the one behind me. It's their first acoustic electric guitar, and it's better than 80% of acoustic electric guitars on the market, in my opinion. So I just hope they continue to develop them and take on my feedback, because that's what a lot of people don't realize with these videos. I'm giving them ideas. I'm giving them suggestions for future products. Whether they listen to me or not is up to them. I hope they do. But also, no product is perfect. Even the Voice Live Extreme that I bought 5 units of has a lot of issues for me that I'd like to change. But there's just nothing better. You know, eventually you have to just say, right, this is my thing. This is what I need for what I'm currently doing. Yes, that will be coming. I have to sit down and do that. I have this weekend off. I have a lot of downtime in January before NAMM. I'll definitely be doing it before NAMM, because Tonex let me have one of the little mini ones at the Tonex one when I was at Gear Street in Germany, because they liked the video I did on their speakers. And I actually said to them there, that was a few months ago now, I said to them, that would be a great pedal for acoustic, but no one's done a video on that. And they asked me to do that. Well, they didn't ask me to. They said, here's a Tonex one. If you want to do a video, it'd be great. So I will do that. I just know, I know it's very important. I shouldn't even be talking about it really, because someone else is going to do that video. It's going to be a good video. But I'm gonna be, the reason I'm taking my time is I want to do things like, I want to make an IR, export the IR, load it into the pedal, go through all different effects and how you program it and all that stuff, you know. So it's going to take me probably a whole day to do that one. Flux says it's not extreme at all. I have 2 Voice Live 2s for my live shows. One's a backup. Yeah, totally. If I was doing a wedding or something, I should really take a second unit anyway as a backup, either a Play Acoustic or another Voice Live 3 Extreme. So there's 2 units right there that I need to have. And as I am doing these gigs professionally, and I use the Voice Live 3 Extreme at every single gig that I play. So I'm just scared that next year they'll say we're not making them anymore for whatever reason. And I'd be really in trouble if I didn't have one of those. I'd have to make a whole new rig and it wouldn't be as good, I don't think. So Rex said, the Voice Live 3 Extreme can't seem to figure out how to create a new blank preset and preset without modifying existing preset. Think about creating a preset for a few guitars. What do? I think I've just gone to like the main acoustic preset up around 300, whatever it is. And then I have copied it onto the next ones. So I've made the main preset and then I've copied it to like just change the harmony type on a few of the others. But I tend to just use the single preset for the whole gig. And in that preset, I have all of my settings. But it is weird. I remember I tried to delete the built-in presets and you can't. It brings them back again. So it is a bit weird how that thing works. You don't have like user presets at the end the way you do in a Helix. You just have the built-in presets and then you modify them. And if you ever plug it into the computer and delete them, it'll bring back the factory preset. So you never really lose the factory presets. So you can afford to do that. You could also back them up as well and then bring them back in later. You should try the new the Brazilian pickup, Harmonic GT02. It's unreal. Unfortunately, there's only Portuguese videos about it. I think guy I know, my mind's gone blank. Pandello. He's talked about it. And I looked it up, but the only thing is the battery life is about 50 hours. That's not really enough for me, personally. But yeah, it could be an interesting system. It seems to use digital and microphones and anti-feedback. I would like to try it. Hey, if any pickup company wants me to include their system in my pickup playlist, which is now about 26, all they've got to do is send me a guitar with the pickup installed. And then ship it to me at their cost, ship it back to them at their cost, and maybe sponsor the video. I don't know. Depends on how I feel about that system, I guess. But that's all they got to do at this point, and they can be included in the playlist. So I'm open to that. But yeah, I have some criteria personally. When I'm looking for a new system, the first thing I look at is the battery life. Now, you know, I've been saying lately that I try to look at things for all players, and that's true. So, for example, I know there's people out there that are not playing 3 or 4 times a week, 4 hours a night. They don't care about 100-hour plus battery life. 50 hours to someone that plays once a month or even once a week, 50 hours is absolutely fine. So I wouldn't write off a pickup like that just because of that reason. But personally, because of the amount of shows that I'm doing at the moment, I like to know that I have at least 100 hours in there. I've even considered using passive pickups at times, because you're never going to have to worry about the battery dying on you. So I think that's why I was looking for a passive pickup that sounded incredible for a long time, straight in, because that's the dream. But the reality is, if you want microphones and preamps built into the guitar to get you through the gig as well, you're going to need a battery. So, okay, so when I got the battery, I want to have 100 hours plus of battery life, personally. I used to gig a Aura guitar that had like 30 hours. That just wasn't enough. Before I knew it, the battery light was turning on and I had to change the battery, and it was just too much to think about, personally. But Harmonic around 50, this pickup we're talking about here, around 50 hours, yeah. That's not bad, if that is indeed what it is. I'm just going to try and bring it up on the Google here. So this is it. It looks a bit like an Anthem that goes in the sound hole. Nice case it comes with. So yeah, okay, I'll just talk through it. I mean, I haven't tried it. I might love this thing. This might be the new best thing for me. But a few things that I'm worried about. First of all, the controls are in the sound hole, so therefore it's hard to use a feedback buster. Now, like I said in the AEG1 video this morning, I use a feedback buster not just for feedback. I mostly use it to stop spillage of sound coming back into the guitar and then being recorded in the looper, which will still happen, but less so with a feedback buster. So that's the first thing. I like the sound hole to be clear for that reason. The second thing is that microphone that's in the sound hole is like the K&K Trinity and the Maton system. Usually sounds incredible there because it hears all the air and the ring of the strings, which is very realistic. But it's also sitting right in the sound hole. It's going to feed back. So they include like an anti-feedback system. I don't know how well that works, but that would have to work very well for me to trust that. Then we have the mix, the tone. That's the feedback button, battery indicator, which is nice. It's right there. And I guess a trim pot for the mics. Yes, like use a screwdriver, which is nice. Then there's a mic that sticks inside. So it's 2 microphones and I think an undersaddle, right? I'm not sure what kind of undersaddle they're using. But yeah, you know, it certainly looks very interesting. I would love to try it. And I'm sure it sounds natural, the fact it's based around these 2 microphones. So it's almost, look, it's almost like a body sensor. It's almost like a Cole Clark type thing, or an Anthem a true mic, isn't it? So you've got the mic there and the mic in the sound hole. And I guess you could have more of that mic inside and then a little bit of that mic in the sound hole just for the realism. I guess that's why it sounds so good, right? Looks like they're using an Element style undersaddle, which isn't my first choice. I'd rather they use the Matrix style. But there we go. That's what they've chosen to use. So I'm absolutely sure it sounds great, because to have that undersaddle and 2 microphones and one of them being in the sound hole like that, it's going to sound really natural, I'm sure, and still powerful with the piezo pickup blended in. You know, there's quite a lot of stuff in the guitar. The battery holder looks really nice quality. Look at that. They've really thought all this through. But it's a bit of stuff in the guitar. It is blocking the sound hole a little bit. There is a mic in the sound hole. The battery life is, I think, 50 hours. I don't see it, but yeah, I would definitely like to test it out. And I'm always supportive of people that are making new systems, because not enough people are doing that, in my opinion. I don't see the battery life, but yeah, nice presentation, nice box, nice packaging, nice looking system, and definitely worth looking into. There's systems like this are going to be for a lot. Yeah, people that want that natural microphone sound. At the end of the day, 2 microphones are going to, as long as there's no phasing issues or weirdness like that, it's going to sound good. Now look at the price, $699. You see, everyone's complaining about the Hi-Fi Duet being $450. I was saying that's not the most expensive pickup. There are more expensive pickups. Well, here's one of them, $699. Now it doesn't bother me if it's incredible. If it's absolutely incredible, I think it's absolutely fine, that price. It's a boutique, looks like a high quality product. But of course, it's not for every. Again, who's this for? This isn't for someone that plays once a year with $100 guitar, is it? This is for someone that wants a high quality system in their guitar and wants this system. So definitely worth checking out, and I would definitely try to find the guitar with that installed in to play at some point. Okay. And one thing for you, do you have that installed? Have you tried it yourself? Is a question I'd put to you, Ricaro. And Bimo says, give us a thumbs up. Yes, please do. Find the like button on the video and press it, because I only have 11 at the moment. I could use another 19. Next product I want to show you. This isn't a sales thing today. I just happened to notice that some of the gear I'm using is on sale. This is something I'm about to make a video on, but I'll give you a little preview as you're watching the live stream. This is excellent. If you ever use a microphone as a vocalist or for speeches at your gigs, if you need a wireless mic on occasion for a guest singer, if you need a wireless mic for a party for the speeches, if you do anything in a church or a group like that where you make speeches, this is the real deal. So I won't tell you everything about it, because I'm going to make a dedicated video for this. The reason I'm showing you today is that Amazon currently have it for 20% off. Let me see if I got the link here. Yeah. So there's the link if you want to buy it. I think it might be America only. I'm not sure. And yes, it is my affiliate link, but you wouldn't know about it if I didn't tell you about it. So currently 20% off, $104. I mean, this is amazing. This is a wireless mic system. So you plug the female end into your microphone. You plug the male end into your console or your amp, whatever. You hold down those 2 buttons that you see below the blue dot until they power on, and you're good to go. It looks great. It's small. It's sleek. It sounds great. I've had no issues with interference. That doesn't mean that you won't, but I've been using it in the city with no issues for the last 2 months. The battery life is rated at, I think, 8 hours, which is excellent for something like this. And that price is absolutely incredible. $104 to turn your mic into a wireless mic. Like I said, it looks nice. It's lightweight. There's no case. Oh, no, there is a case. Yeah, it comes in a case as well. Sorry. Not a charging case, but it comes in a nice case with the USB-C. It's USB-C charging cable. If you do any kind of gig, where you have people on the mic, you need to buy one of these. I really believe that. And I bought these with my own money. It wasn't a sponsored thing. I was looking to do a sponsored video with another company who I may or may not talk about in the video, but they weren't very good. They made a popping noise. They were expensive. They didn't look as cool as these. I just stumbled upon these and I thought, wow, these are absolutely amazing. Remember, they are for dynamic mics. They don't provide power to like a condenser. But if you use a dynamic microphone, if you have people doing guest spots with you, or if you want to be wireless yourself for some reason, these are absolutely brilliant. I love them. And currently on sale, you have to have these. If you're a gigging musician, if you're in a band, if you have any kind of dynamic microphone you ever use at any gig, you should buy these. They're absolutely brilliant. I really believe that. And I'm actually using two pairs because I'm using these for the karaoke I run Wednesday nights. So I'm using two pairs of these at the same time, plugged into an Everse 8 speaker, which is then receiving Bluetooth audio, which is also 2.4 gigahertz, in a hotel full of people with phones on 2.4 gigahertz, full of Wi-Fi signals in a major city. So as far as I'm concerned, the testing I've done on this is the best you're going to get. These are the real deal. Are they going to last long term? Because I love the Sennheiser version. It's way more expensive, and the battery only lasts me a year, and then they die, and they died at a gig. It was terrible. They will replace the battery for $75. They'll replace the unit, but that's a hassle. I don't know if these are going to last long term. That's the only thing. I've only had them for 3 months or so. So will these still work as well in 3 years? I don't know. I can't tell you that, but hopefully they will. And everything else about them is amazing. The price, the form factor, the USB-C, the look of them, the fact they come with a case, they're absolutely fantastic. So the Donner wireless XLR microphone transmitter for dynamic microphones. If you do anything like that, I highly recommend them. You really, really should grab them while they're on sale. Okay, so not often I give something such high praise, is it? But there we go. They've been fantastic. So Akaro says, I have tried this pickup system he's telling us about. It is really, really natural sound. I assumed it would be because of the fact it's using those microphones. Replaced that LR Bag's Lyric. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. The Lyric was interesting for me. When I first had it installed and tried it with headphones, I was blown away at the natural sound because, again, it's a microphone. But at gigs and long term, it wasn't enough for me. The GTO2 is really super. I'm sure because there's two mics and an undersaddle. You basically hear the guitar louder, very resistant against feedback. Yes, I'm sure. I can tell just by the fact there's a mic in the sound hole for a start and a mic inside the guitar that it's going to be a natural sounding system. And I like the fact it also has a piezo pickup to blend in as well. My only question is, how do they blend? Are they using crossovers? Can you take out the piezo completely or not? There's a few questions I have about that. But I'm glad you've tried it, and that's cool. In Brazil, it's not $699. First time I saw that some product be cheaper in Brazil. People keep saying that to me. So-and-so is more expensive in other countries. Yes, because they have to ship them to the other country and then pay that distributor. So whenever you send something to another country, it's always going to be more expensive, or basically, unless you're a huge company like Yamaha, where you've got presence all over the world. Rex says, thanks, Aaron. That confirms what I was thinking. I'll just pick an existing preset, turn everything off. I don't want to save and then copy it to another. Yeah, that's what I do. I make one preset that does what I want to do, and then I save that to the next 10 slots. And then I can just go up and down between them and have variations of each preset. But that's just one of many ways to use it. Okay, for acoustic shows, what pedals are you using? Can you make a video about your acoustic pedal board? So I don't use a pedal board, that's the thing. I just use, and again, disclaimer, I'm traveling light. That's one of the reasons I don't have a pedal board. A pedal board would be as heavy as the Voice Live 3 Extreme without the pedals on it. But my current rig, I always like to talk about the rig that I'm actually using. And my current rig is this. It's either the AEG1 or my Cole Clark into a Voice Live 3 Extreme. And then that goes out with a single cable into usually a QSC K8.2, which is my preference. Or if not, if I'm traveling really light, then I'll take the, what's it called? Everse 8. And that's a good system too. Not as good as the K8.2 is the ultimate for me. But the Everse 8 is half the weight and has the built-in mixer and everything. So yeah, the Everse 8 will do most gigs if I need it to. And then this thing, you know, it gives me a tuner, it gives me guitar reverb, vocal reverb, guitar delay, vocal delay. So okay, so even in just the one preset that I use, because I tend to just use one preset and use it like a pedal board in the layout, because you can customize the whole thing on the top layer. Basically what I have is, from right to left as you're looking at that picture, the harmony drive button is the harmony for the guitar, for the voice, sorry, my third above. The button above that is the boost for the guitar to play a solo or fingerstyle. And then the delay left to that is, that top one is guitar delay, the bottom one is vocal delay. So they're right next to each other. Then the U mod is vocal, like a distortion on the voice, like a telephone voice, just for fun. The hit button is a tap tempo, which is flashing with the current tempo. And if I tap on it, I can change the tempo. Hold for looper will take me into the looper, but I have a 6-button passive foot switch attached, my own custom switch 6 pedal, which gives me record loop, stop loop, erase all loops, what's being recorded into the loop, undo, which I don't really need, and metronome on or off on that switch, that foot switch lives next to it. Very lightweight, very small. Step button is my tuner. So that takes me straight to the tuner instantly without having to press down the 2 buttons at once like you normally do. And then preset will go up and down to just change presets. That's basically all that I use. That's my pedal board. I think what I've got there, because then I've also got built in, obviously, the vocal effects, the vocal EQ, the guitar EQ is also there, and some layers as well, which in the menus. So think about that for a second. For this £5 whatever pedal, whatever it weighs, might be less. What does it weigh? Very lightweight. £5, yeah. So this £5 pedal with this £1 6-button foot switch attached to it, which is passive and not powered. Think about it. I have vocal EQ, guitar EQ, solo level boost, vocal reverb, guitar reverb, vocal delay, guitar delay, vocal distortion effect, tap tempo, tuner, looper. I mean, and more, but like all that just to start with, and then a few other things that I've got on the other switches. So amazing, right? Amazing. I love it. That's why I've got 5 of them. I think I got 5, might be 4. That's why I've got them. I absolutely love that. Now, would I rather have a pedal board? Yes. If I could have an HX Stomp and individual pedals and an IR loader or a Quad Cortex for the electric stuff, yes, it would be better. But as an all-in-one for the solo acoustic rig, this is the way to go. It's amazing, and there's been nothing like it since. Years ago, I did make a custom version. I had an HX Stomp, I had a Boss 3-button looper, I had the Voice Live Touch, which was a smaller thing, and I made a pedal board. I really should have made more videos about it. I took it apart a few weeks later, did a few live streams on the channel with it. That was a great setup, and it used a MIDI controller. But you see, I just knew straight away the weight of that alone, I wouldn't be able to take it anywhere, so I just didn't bother. For me, I always say it because it's important to know, portability for me is very important, but not for everyone. So if portability wasn't important to me, I would have a Quad Cortex, the Voice Live 3 Extreme, maybe a different looper, individual effect pedals. I would. If I was only playing at home and I could have a massive pedal board, I would have lots of different things on it. But traveling around all the time, this is absolutely incredible. And, you know, the reverbs and delays, I'm sure they're not the best, but they're absolutely fine, in my opinion, on this thing. Rex says, I've used the Legato and Joyo 2.4 transmitters, not without issues. Right. Exactly. I've reviewed some cheap XLR, guitar wireless systems. They don't sound as good as a cable. Some of them are reliable, some of them are not. The reason I'm excited about what I'm showing you today on Amazon is it sounds just like a cable. It's amazing, and it's not causing me any issues so far at all. And that price is excellent. $100 for a wireless system, amazing. And that's the only reason I'm raving about it. I've tried them all, and I've now found the guitar and vocal system that are really the real deal. And that's why I'm pushing them, especially when they're on sale. Huff. I've been running several different acoustic guitars and pickups through one pedal board DI rig. I recently bought the VoicePrint. Haven't unboxed it yet. Any tips for set up multiple presets? Well, VoicePrint DI does presets. I haven't used it lately. My only issue with the VoicePrint DI is that in my apartment, it adds a bit of noise, digital noise, like a whining, which I don't like. And I've told LR Bags about it several times. So we'll see if they ever change that. But it is a good pedal. You see you've got the next button, so you've got the presets on there. So I would just make a VoicePrint for each instrument, a preset for each instrument, and then scroll through them. It's a shame it doesn't have MIDI, because then you could use a MIDI controller to change the presets. I don't think it does. But yeah, just make a preset on there. You can name it, and then just scroll through as needed. Yeah, it's good. It's good. You should definitely try it. The EQ is amazing. The app is amazing. Probably the best app of any pedal I've tried. And I think if you weren't using in-ear monitors, you wouldn't hear any issues. But because I use in-ear monitors, I really hear every little detail of these things, you know? So that's good. Let us know how you get on with it when you've had a chance to set it up. Flux says, TC Helicon stuff is excellent. I wish someone pick up their torch and make some next level voice. Don't I, Flux. I've been pushing for that for so long. And you've got companies like Neural that say, well, our pedal does vocal harmonies. I'm surprised not more people are using it for vocal harmonies. And I'm like, no, they're just no, I've tried it. They're nowhere near as good as the TC on the, I love the Quad Cortex. I'm a biggest fan, but the vocal effects on there are not anywhere near good enough. So I wish they'd put a bit more into that down the line. Rex says, I was surprised how many modifications using EQ can be done in the amp and cabinet areas on the Voice Live 3. I'm experimenting with dialing amp sounds, different acoustic and electric guitars. Yes, they're very flexible. And I have heard people get great sounds out of it. So don't be put off by what I'm saying. But it's not like a Quad Cortex where you just plug in, choose an amp model and a cab, and it just sounds great. You'd have to work hard, I think, to get great sounds out of the Voice Live 3 Extreme. So I tend to just use it for acoustic mostly. If I was doing electric stuff, I would get the Tone X1 and add that into the equation. I think it's easy to use a MIDI foot controller. Most equipment support MIDI. Yeah, most equipment does support MIDI. I don't know if I'm going to say it's easy, because I'm pretty technical and I don't enjoy setting up MIDI stuff. Let's say it's not hard. It's not impossible. It's not difficult, so maybe. But I agree. That rig that I set up a few years ago was awesome because it had the Morningstar MC8, so an 8-button MIDI controller, which is fantastic. And then that was controlling everything else. I did think to myself, well, what would happen if one of the cables came loose or something? There's a lot of links in the chain there to go wrong or something, but it didn't go wrong. And while it was working, it was excellent. So I will say that MIDI is the future. MIDI is excellent. Does the VoicePrint DI not have MIDI? If not, it should do. But yeah, it's nice when everything talks. It's nice when you press a button and it tells everything else what to do for the settings. All right, so I'm going to take, while you're just putting in any last questions or comments, I'm just going to do some self-promotion. If you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks for all the new subscribers. I just got a bunch today. It's nice to see. It really helps me out. It always says on these reports from YouTube that a lot of viewers are not actually subscribed. So if you do watch any of these videos, it really helps if you subscribe and watch the other ones as well. And like and leave a comment as well, of course. That's really helpful. And then I've got all my affiliate links below the videos if you feel like using them. So that's awesome. I hope you enjoyed the AEG video. If you didn't watch it, please do. And yeah, they're going back. I'm going to hang on to the... I really like that Torrefied guitar. And knowing what I know about acoustic guitars these days, the setup and the sound and everything of a guitar is just so varied. So I asked if I can hang on to that one longer. So I'm going to be using this Torrefied one more. The other ones are going back. I'm sending back the other guitar they loaned me for the pickup demo was the Bourgeois. That's a great guitar. Really, really great. Addy and Mahogany, I think. That's a cool guitar. But alas, must go back to LR Baggs today. Got some other guitars coming in for review this week as well, I think, or next week. So watch out for those. Dinant, how you doing? Main sound difference between the Duet and the Anthem. God, it's really difficult. You know... Okay, here's the thing. The first thing is, to really answer that question, you need to have them installed in the same guitar. Or at least have the Anthem in the guitar for a while, and then take that out and put the Hi-Fi Duet in the same guitar. It's not fair to compare two different guitars, really, even though I've done it, because it's the only thing I could do at the time. Having said that, the differences really are that... I was thinking about this the other day. You know, the Anthem has the element under the saddle. When you have a pickup under the saddle, it's more immediate in feel and sound because it's right there under the strings. That's why it sounds less like the guitar and more artificial, because it's right under the strings. It's not hearing the body of the guitar. It's hearing the strings mostly and the attack. And that can be nice because it's punchy. It feels punchy as well. Then they add the microphone in the Anthem to then add in the other stuff and to make it sound more natural. The Hi-Fi Duet is a different approach. It's using the pickups under the bridge. I mean, it's almost like adding latency, isn't it? Because it's like they're further away from where your hand hits the guitar. Although, when you play the guitar acoustically, it's maybe closer to that. So, I'd say, technically, there should be a difference in feel for that reason. But I'm sure there is, but it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like if I play both of them, I don't feel that the feel is causing me an issue. But in theory, there is a difference in feel because one pickup is right under the saddle, or one pickup is under the bridge plate further away. Hence why that sounds more natural and picks up more of the body sound of the guitar. So they definitely do sound different. But the reason that I made that EQ video 2 weeks ago was to show that with EQ, you can basically make them sound the same, even if they're in different guitars. I think that video was successful. So I see people saying that the Anthem cuts more than the Hi-Fi Duet. Yeah, maybe plug straight in, maybe it does. In the same guitar, I don't know, I haven't tried in the same guitar. I assume maybe it does because of the physical differences like I just mentioned. But having said that, so many people want a more natural sound. Many people hate undersaddle pickups. So I would assume then that they would gravitate towards the Hi-Fi Duet because it gets rid of the undersaddle pickup completely. So to summarize it, Hi-Fi Duet, I guess, sounds more natural and picks up more of the body sound if you're into percussive playing. Anthem sounds a bit more artificial, a bit stronger in the mid-range, but that also creates a sense of maybe being clearer in the mix. But then if you're going to plug into any kind of pedal board, we've been talking today about Voice Live 3 and pedal boards. If you've got access to EQ, you can really then shape those sounds. So then to whatever you want. So really for me, it becomes more about maybe price and physical attributes. Like, are you okay having something under the saddle? Many people are not. They don't want anything under the saddle. Do you want more body percussive sounds? If so, then the Hi-Fi Duet is going to give you those more than the Anthem. Well, if you don't want any percussive sounds and they get in the way, maybe the Anthem is the better choice in that regard. For me, the last time I played the Anthem guitar, I just didn't... I'm so used now to the Cole Clark system and the Hi-Fi Duet. I was actually disappointed with the Anthem last time I used that. In the guitar it's installed in, I must say that. I could play it in another guitar and like it. a lot of these things are so dependent on the guitar that they're installed into. So a good example of that is the AEG is a thin body guitar, but it has more low end than the regular guitars I tried with the Hi-Fi Duets. Interesting. It's almost like they've voiced that guitar to have more low end because it's thinner, and so it's really bringing out the low end in the pickup. So the guitar, I'm getting confusing here, but basically the guitar you install these systems into will have a massive effect on the results that you get. In regards to volume of the output and any feedback issues, the guitar itself is going to have a massive impact on that. But long story short, the Hi-Fi Duet is more expensive. The Hi-Fi Duet picks up more of the body sound if you want that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. The Hi-Fi Duet sounds more natural. It sounds more like you're in the note, whereas the Anthem feels more like you're on top of the note. And for that reason, the Anthem can sound a bit more direct, and that's better or worse. Maybe you want a more direct sound, maybe you don't. But then I still say that with a decent EQ pedal on your board, you can make either sound like either. Not exact, I can't say 100%, of course, but pretty close enough for it not to really be an issue. But I think a lot of people don't want to deal with EQ. A lot of people just want to plug straight in and go, and I kind of get that. I don't disagree with that, but I think you're missing out if you don't explore EQ with the system that you have. I don't think there's ever been a pickup I've ever had that I didn't EQ and made it sound better. It's just not possible. Until they make a digital version, I guess. So I hope that kind of helps. That's the best that I can say it really in a 3-minute rant. Love the AEG video. Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed making that video. I was put it off for so long trying to get my thoughts together because I want to communicate things to help people. I don't want to just like rant or just spur things out or just play and not give opinions. So I wanted to get my words together correctly and really try everything out multiple times and not spread any sort of misinformation. So I'm happy with how it came out because basically, look, long story short, it's great. It's a great guitar. It's a great guitar to play. I think it looks cool. It's new. It's innovative. It's affordable in America, at least. You know, it's great. But are there things they could improve? Of course. I mean, there's things you can improve by absolutely anything, gear-wise. Love the EQ video. Thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with that. I assumed it would come out well, but I had no idea it'd be that close. But I just think there's this wall with musicians about EQ. I think a lot of musicians don't use EQ at all. I think a lot of musicians don't understand how to use it. And I think if you use it wrong, you can make things very bad. But I think so many systems can be drastically improved with EQ. I've heard Michael, who's here sometimes, he plays the Anthem, but he turns the mic off and just has the undersaddle. Now, to me, that often sounds terrible in guitars. But he's EQ'd his in such a way whenever I've heard him that it just sounds really good. And that's EQ. Very important. You can't make the Anthem sound like... Yes, you can. If I did the same thing in reverse, I'm sure it would. Well, I don't know. Actually, now you got me thinking. I haven't tried it. It should be the same concept. It's all the same concept. Yeah, it should be the same thing. But... you want to know, like, out of the box, right? Out of the box, you're definitely going to have a sense of a more natural sound from the Hi-Fi Duet. You're going to have more body sound. Those are certain. The Anthem, you're going to have less body sound, again, for better or worse. And you're going to have, like, the best way I can describe it is what I just said. The Anthem feels like you're sitting on top of the note and it's cutting through. And then the Hi-Fi Duet sounds like you're in the note, which for me is a good thing. It's more of that kind of real 3D organic feeling of like, this is the guitar louder. But then you have to kind of shape your EQ in order for it to be more like you're on top of it. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. I think that look, the fact is they sell both of them. There isn't a better or worse. They didn't say the Hi-Fi Duet is better than the Anthem and we're killing the Anthem. They didn't do that. They said, here's another flavor. here's another option. It's a bit like humbuckers versus single coil, which is the best, you know. There isn't an answer to that question, is there? But again, you can EQ a humbucker to sound like a single coil, and you can EQ a single coil to sound like a humbucker. But you can't remove all of the noise from a single coil. And a humbucker doesn't have the noise. So there's these pros and cons again. Andrew says, what's a recommendation for a new acoustic for recording with mics? Well, you know, I'm going to say, you're in Australia, so I'm going to say go and get a Cole Clark or a Maton. They're not really well known for their acoustic properties, but some Matons sound really nice recorded, and some don't, some do, like everything else. Cole Clark now have the studio recording guitars, which are much louder resonant guitars. I would check those out. But I mean, that's a really tough question. If you're talking about any brand, it's the question has to be budget, doesn't it? I mean, if you want to be below $2,000, Yamaha FG3 straight up acoustic mahogany guitar, fantastic, around $1,000, amazing, can't go wrong. Last you the rest of your life. They also make one with an excellent pickup system, but you're talking about a microphone. So FG3 or FG3X Yamaha, just to keep this short. But you're in Australia, so I'd go and try some Australian guitars. I'm just jealous that I can't do that. Do you think that practical aspects are more important than sound differences? In what regard? Pedals or pickups? Practical aspects. In gear, practicality is very important. You know, you get people that say, I won't compromise. I need the best of the best. I don't care. I'll take a £100 tube amp. I'll take a £50 pedal board. But it has to be practical. You can't do that every night. I mean, what if you injure yourself? What if you injure yourself and then you can't work anymore? You have to think about the whole picture here. And the fact is, I am a gear snob, but the Voice Live 3 effects are absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with them. So as much of a gear snob that I am, the practicality wins. Yeah, I think it's very important that you don't injure yourself, that you get to the gig on time, you set up on time. You know, if you're running late and it takes you an hour to set up versus it takes you 10 minutes to set up. I think practicality when you're a working musician is really important. You should make that video, get the anthem to sound like a duet, use an HX Stomp Live. So I EQ all the time. I like to see about it. But just do what I did in reverse. Like get they just released Pro EQ 4, version 4. Unfortunately, I emailed them. They didn't allow you to export the EQ profile as an IR. If they did that, it would be incredible. Because if you could record your guitar and load it into Pro EQ and it matches the guitar to the microphone and export that basically as an IR, you could load it straight into the line 6, but you have to rip it yourself, unfortunately, which is doable but more complicated. So you would just do it in reverse. It'd be the same thing. It would take that more mid-focused anthem sound and it would just basically hollow out the mids and add bass, and it would then sound more like the hi-fi duet. But you don't have to do any matching. You can just load up, like on the HX Stomp you can just load up the EQ block, record a loop of the pickup, and just go through and boost and cut frequencies to make it sound more like what you're looking for. D18 style is great for recording. Yes, that's what the Yamaha FG3 is, basically. It's a D18, but more affordable. I guess I should have said D18 because I'm a big Martin fan. Okay, fine. If you want to spend the cash, Martin D18. Gold standard, right? If you want to save the cash, a Red Label FG3, which is basically Yamaha's version of that, which is under $1,000, like a third of the price. And if you want to make me jealous, go and look at Australian guitars and send me some pictures of those guitars in the stores. All right. I don't really understand the question. Duet versus anthem practicality. I don't see one as more practical than the other. You know, a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Do you want something that picks up more of the body of the guitar? Some people do. Some people drum on the guitar and they would need the duet for that reason. Some people don't drum on the guitar, strum open chords, and don't want any external sound. So the anthem will be a better choice for that person, I believe. That would definitely factor into my decision. The price would also factor into my decision. It's not just you know, there's not many pieces of gear where you can just say, look, this is better than this. There's just not. With the wireless thing I showed earlier for the microphone, yes, that is technically better. Most of those ones I've used, they cut out, the battery dies, they don't sound as good as the cable. This one I've shown you ticks all those boxes, so I can easily say with that digital product that that is the best and the price is fantastic and you should buy one. With something like a pickup, there is no best. It really comes down to the questions I ask people every week on here when they ask for my advice. Where are you playing? What are you playing? How are you playing? How often are you playing? What sound do you like? What sound do you not like? What kind of songs do you play? Do you use a pick? Do you play with fingers? It's so many questions to say what is the best. And then with EQ, you can definitely mitigate a lot of these things if you're willing to put in the time. Byron, what's up? Aloha. I mostly play nylon and 12 string. Nice. Two things I don't really play. Looking forward to Tonex. Everyone wants this Tonex for you. Okay, I'll bring up the list. Yep. And I know if I don't make it and someone else makes it, I'll be annoyed. So I will do it. It is geared towards electric, but it's a hidden gem of an acoustic pedal. For sure. Okay, I'll get onto that. Maybe I'll do that one this weekend coming. Because I'm going to need a couple of days to do that. Huff, my champion for an acoustic under 1K is the Fender Paramount. I haven't tried those. Really underrated. Solid wood, gorgeous appointments, hard case, dual source pickup. Let me take a look at this. I need to see this. You got me interested. Dangerous things. Fender Paramount. Here we go. So $829, cheaper than that one. Oh, that's the small body. I guess they did the Dreadnought as well. Is this the Dreadnought? Yeah, it looks nice. It doesn't look like a dual source pickup though. C-shaped neck, Fishman Electronics. Oh, you're right. Sonotone Plus. I've never heard of that. A body sensing pickup with an undersaddle. So what that is Martin had it. It was called the VT Enhance. I wasn't a huge fan. I found it very bright sounding. But again, you know what I'm going to say? With external EQ, you could tame that down. So yeah, nice. Dual source pickup, 850. Haven't played one, can't really comment. I still say those red labels are exceptional. I mean, those red labels are up there with the D18 for sure. They're amazing. But yeah, thanks for telling us about this one. I'd like to try this one as well. And like you said, it also has the pickup in there. I've never even heard people talk about these. What's the neck look like? That's always a big thing for me. It looks okay. It's hard to tell from the picture. I do like when the neck is nice and smooth. I'm gonna stand by the Yamaha FG3, but take a look at these Fender Paramounts if you ever see them. I don't know what you think, and I'll try to do the same because that does look cool. Interesting pickguard shape as well. All right, thanks for sharing that. I never even heard of those. Crazy. I may have heard of them, but I've certainly never seen one. Searching for Tone, how you doing? Good to see you. Andrew says above 2K US dollars. Need to find time after Christmas go playing. Maybe you always want to visit. I want to visit. Above 2K. Okay, look at a Martin D18. Look at the Yamaha FG3 or FG5 or the X version with the pickup. And check out the, well, you said above 2K, so check out those. And check out the Cole Clark Studio recording guitars. I've seen some good videos about Mackenzie and Ma and Senmo guitars in that price point. Yeah, I'm not sure about Senmo. I tried to look at their website and it just took me to some virusy website. So be careful with that. And I messaged them about it on Instagram. They didn't reply. So I don't know what's going on with that. But they look good. You know, I feel the same way as over. Me personally, you want to get a D18, get a Martin D18. That's honestly how I think about it. but that's me. I'm very much wired that way. So you should probably ignore what I'm saying with that. Miles, I still love my lyric. Can't seem to tear myself away for the duet. I play it live with no feedback. You know, this is what I'm going to say. If you like what you have, don't change it. Why would you? New isn't always better. If you have something that you love, do not sell it. Do not change it. Stick with it. Maybe in the future, if a friend gets a guitar with the duet, maybe give it a run, a test run. But don't ever change. Like you only look for new gear. I'm only trying a new gear, to be absolutely clear with you, because I'm growing a channel around it. And that's why my approach these days is less so about what do I think, although I always include that. It's more about who is this for? Who could I recommend this to? And I'm doing this as an extension. That's why I also like to tell people what I'm currently using at my gigs, because that has got to be my focus. That's my focus. That's my reference point. You might not even like the stuff that I like. When I then review stuff, I try to put a different hat on where I think, right, what gig is this good for? What musician would benefit from this? Who can I recommend this to? And would I also use it? And how does it compare to my current rig as well? Because like I said, there's no perfect. But my advice to anyone that isn't doing YouTube or doesn't want to waste money trying different gear, because I've got, you know, Lord knows I've spent a lot of money buying and selling and trying and all the time. If you got something that was working, don't change it. Just don't. It's a mistake. Huff. Sounds very Gibson-ish with some EQ, just my opinion. Very smooth. Yamahas are, of course, a great choice. Yeah, you can't. Those FG3s are fantastic. And then the FG5 is made in Japan and is now gloss finish. Again, you may like that. You may not. Gloss finish is a preference. It's annoying in videos with under the lights reflecting off it. You can't do scratching on it. Actually, there's one thing I just remembered. One thing I left off the AEG1 video is that it's gloss finish, but if you rub your palm on the bridge, which is satin finish, you do get some of those scratchy percussive sounds if you want them. I forgot to say that in the video. Anyway, I said it here, so it's fine. All right, I'm going to wrap things up. I have to go to UPS. So before I go, if you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you got notifications turned on. Thanks for hanging out today. We've got 37 on. That's great. I love that we've got this community here, which is more focused towards acoustic amplification, because a lot of people don't even seem to care about acoustic amplification. Stay tuned. NAMM is coming up in about 4 or 5 weeks' time. I'll be there live streaming, and we can do some Q&As and check out the new gear. And I have a lot of gear to talk about between now and then. It's still on that list. So the one I just got done was the AEG1. If you didn't watch the AEG1 video, please go and watch it now. It really helps me out. All right, everyone take care. Rosanna, thanks for moderating. I forgot about you, sorry, because there was no one here to kick out. And thanks again. And thanks. Say hi to Lee. And everyone take care. Have a great week. I'll see you soon. Next week will be... Is that the week before Christmas? Yes, next week's the 23rd. So it'll be the Christmas special. I think I'm gigging on Christmas Day, which is kind of crazy, but needs must. I've got a lot of time off in January, so I have to gig while I can. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Awesome. Okay. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you next time. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.
Six-string today, vintage wood, shiny frets, strumming blues while the sun fades. All these guitars can't help myself. Why can't I quit this ever-growing need?